So, me and Ty, James, where did we just go again?
Chiloso.
Chiloso. If you're ever in Dallas, so good. We're spending a little bit of time. So James moved to Dallas. Ty's on his way to his next location in about 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Give or take. Heading out towards the East Coast. And while we're driving, just a couple minutes, guys, what has been like your biggest struggle recently in production and a solution you've created to overcome it? The biggest L's and W's in the last couple months.
Dang,
It's a deep question.
that's a loaded question.
Yep.
I think, to be honest, for me, it was mixing on a console instead of a DAW. Because like I was trained and like my preference is using a DAW for mixing broadcasts, and learning it on a console was definitely a completely different approach. And so I think it was harder on me. It's almost like
you have to learn that because we're going into like whatever church you're serving at, just a different workflow.
Yes.
By the way, I'm going to be asking these guys for some directions while we drive.
I can pull it up and then.
No, that makes sense though. Different workflow.
Yeah, it's like it's just learning a completely like new thing. So I think that was like pretty hard for me because in a DAW, like all the gain structure and the routing and stuff is 1-for-1. It's really easy. It's really easy to like route and stuff, but like with consoles, there's a lot of other things that's happening. So it's just like unless you know it. So I had to dive straight into it. I spent countless hours recreating. So my solution to it was I rebuilt my scene / template like 3-4 times from scratch so that I know how to use the console. So
how long did that take?
I was still in the process. So I think altogether, like it took me a couple of weeks. I did like once a week basically, because I had to make sure it was ready to run for Sundays. So I can't take too much of a time like to actually make it like perfect or whatever. But
now you got the Swequity.
Yes. And we're upgrading to a DAW in a couple weeks. So
oh, nice.
I'm happy. So that was the solution. Buy the gear.
That's awesome.
What about you, James?
James, your biggest struggle in production. How'd you overcome that? Or even just things you're inspired by right now.
Probably more things that I'm inspired by because I've been in a transition season. So I've been designing a rack of doom. So it's going to be like a 2-bus rack that I could take with me. And I wanted it to be able to integrate with analog AES, Dante, and Wave Sound Grid all at the same time. So I've been digging into solutions for that and how to make that super elegant and easy in a rack that I can throw in my trunk or carry through an airport or something like that. So I've been experimenting with different interfaces and QSys and things like that to make that super easy and elegant. That's been fun, but that's totally just like for me, for fun.
Totally just personal.
Yep.
That's awesome though.
Yep.
That's great,
So
man.
that's my challenge / inspiration.
What's the goal?
Season. Yeah, the goal is to have like my 2-bus, so like a SSL processor, Burl, and maybe like a bus comp as well that I can just throw in. Doesn't matter what console I rock up to. You know, if it's only an analog console, if it's waves, if it doesn't have waves, things like that. Wow. The other cool thing is I'll be able to drop my wave server right on top of it and plug it into a port. And then if I need to have multi-rack or super rack, it's just boom right there. Wow. It integrates right over. So just having it, drop it in, plug in the cables that I need to plug in, hit a button to switch the I/O, and it just works.
Wow.
Yep.
I mean, what stands out to me, especially since I'm not the guy to talk as much shop, the fact that it's constant innovation and it's constant growth. You never kind of arrive, and these guys are always challenging themselves to get better, you know, and they take the time. You know, you got to invest the time to do it, you know, so it's always a process, but it's a good process. So good times out here in Dallas.
Yes.
And we don't get to see each other face to face very often, so this is special times.
Yep, it
It's
is.
been awesome.
Yeah, man. So stay tuned for more goods. It's gonna be good stuff, and I'm on my way to Alabama next, so I'll be flying out tonight. It's been a long weekend, but a good one. So it's good seeing these guys. Stay tuned. We'll catch up.